Let's make lemonade. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go, 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 go. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude.
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson, bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
You are listening to The Rush Radio Show right now, and that means you are already making a smart decision. And when you make smart decisions, that should include where and when you buy your car. Willis Automotive is your go-to for quality vehicles, even better service. So get a new ride, used ride, or a family hauler, or something fun. Find it at willisauto.com. The Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you. Watch it on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Leave your comments in the comment section. And, of course, like this video and follow us on our social media channels. Ross, let me be the first to tell you this morning, happy anniversary. 1 year ago today, we started this crazy journey.
Sure. Wow. It seems like a year, I guess.
No, it went faster than I thought it does.
Yeah.
You know, what do they say as you get older? The years fly by, the days are longer.
The years are long, the decades are short.
Yeah.
The days are long, the years fly by. Yeah. No, This has been fun, man. This has been fun. Been sure, a year.
The whole show's planned around the anniversary, so you got to give me more than that.
Oh my gosh, I hope that's not the case. I really hope
a good portion of it.
Us.
No, see, I have no problem talking about us, but because I think it's been interesting, and I'm going to ask you this question. I mean, what has been your biggest surprise during this? I mean, or it doesn't have to be just one. Just doing this, you know, you go from terrestrial radio to a digital media format, and has there been anything along the year-long journey when we launched this that just a couple things that surprised you? Because I actually have a couple that surprised.
Do you really? I mean, here's the truth. You know this better than any other person on the planet. This has been less of a change for me than it has been for the people that listen to our show. It's been less of a change for me. I'm doing the same exact thing that I did for years. I get up in the morning, I come on. I mean, even for the last couple of years that we were on the radio, I was doing it from this exact same room. So it didn't change much for me. There's a lot of stuff that happened behind the scenes. There was a really rough month or two in there of trying to figure out what was next and not knowing and wondering how I was going to pay bills. And I'm grateful beyond words for you, for the Community Choice, Choice Creative team, Jeff Klein and Brandon and Ken Payne, Nick Renkowski. I'm so grateful for all those guys because I was lost, man. I was out in the wilderness for a while trying to figure out what was going to happen. This to me, Travis, what the biggest hurdle? That's hard for me, man. It has been this. I'm very blessed because this has been a continuation of what I did for so long. So I'll let you. What have been the biggest hurdles for?
And this, I wouldn't even say the hurdles. Some are surprises. You know, some are disappointments. But some are just the way the show has evolved and what happened. You're right. The way we have functioned has not changed at all. And I think when we started this show, the goal was, hey, because I'm very. I don't call what we do a podcast, and you've heard me preach for a year. We're not a podcast. We're a live show every single day. And if you listen to this show 15 years ago, there's not much difference. The way we run the show, the way we structured the show, the way we take commercial breaks, that hasn't changed. A couple surprises to me. Number one, we have the phone number 515-517-2303. I actually thought the phone number and the phone calls would not be any less than what we were on a traditional radio show. we haven't had as much interaction on the phone. But the other surprise is the community that has been built in the chat. Now, there are people listening on the audio stream who can't participate in the chat, but what has happened with the YouTube channel and the building of a community there, and just the regular conversations that take place and the people that show up every morning, even before we were on the air. I did not anticipate that portion of our listeners / viewers to be like that. I thought it'd be more pointed questions, but it really is a community that gathers every morning, like for a cup of coffee to have a conversation. I didn't see that one coming. Did you see that coming?
No, I didn't know. I guess again, I was unaware of that. That's the one aspect of it, Travis, that you and I did not do. This thing of looking in the camera and watching you. I've been doing that on my phone for 15 years. We would literally just time each other before that. So that way we could see each other as we were talking and we could communicate during the breaks or things like that. That has been a really cool part, to be able to see that community of people, because that's what you always talked about. That you always wanted to have, as Abigail so astutely put it, that coffee club, that group of guys that show up every day. Is it the same 15, 20, 50 guys? No, it's a rotating group of about 35, 40 guys that are in there every morning, saying hi to each other, chatting with each other. One guy shows up at 7:30 and says, "Oh man, I woke up late," and you'll see 9 guys go, "Hey man, morning, Alan." It's like, it's a really cool community. That has been very neat to see.
Yeah, that has been kind of the surprise to me. Another surprise was, outside of what we do every single day is basically running our own business, right? And partner, you brought up Choice Creative and the partnership that has happened there to run your own business. And you realize as you run your own business, how much corporate media was really screwing you, right? I mean, it is, you always knew you were getting screwed, but when we would go to the general manager, I mean, I'm going to be fully transparent. And I was with the old place for 15 years. You were there much longer. I never got one raise in 15 years. Not one. I was always working off the same hourly rate, which is fine because I did it because I love working with you and stuff. And this is just, it's my release in the morning. But I believe I brought value to the old place. I believe they were able to make money off our shows, but then you go down the hole of doing this and you're like, oh, you really, and everybody over there is getting screwed, right? You go,
dude, it's a giant machine. This is the part of corporate world.
Yeah.
Listen, when you use a group like Agency Iowa to sell your home, do you know what your money's not going to? A giant national marketing campaign. When you buy from locally owned and locally operated and family owned and family operated, your money stays in your community. You don't have to pay for giant brick and mortar buildings. The things that you and I don't have for overhead that we did have over there is in the literal billions of dollars. Billions. So it's just a completely different beast, man. And we're very, very lucky that we're in a world right now where this is available, where we've got the internet to be able to do all this stuff. Somebody wrote in the comment section and asked about Willis. They said, when you guys first started this, did you reach out to Willis or did Willis reach out to you? Can we share? I think we can share all this stuff, right?
Because this show, and another thing we need to say is that we never ever wanted. People have Patreon pages. They have other way that, Nick's nice enough to send us $50 every now and then
when he wins.
And you can send money through YouTube, which is nice. We never asked people to do that. This show, we never wanted people to pay for content. We're never, the goal is never, because I never want to say never, but it said the goal is never to say, hey, you have to pay for this show. We want it to be a free show. It would not be possible without advertisers, right? And that's why our advertisers are so important to us. And Willis Automotive obviously powers this show. And Ross, it was a relationship you had, right, with Willis?
Yeah, I mean, dude, a two-sided sword here. When I first got let go, Willis reached out. I've got one of my very good friends is on the Willis team. And I've always had a good relationship with Jason and the crew over there at Willis. And the day that I got fired, a few different people, Bruno included, Willis reached out to me and said, whatever you're going to do next, we want to be a part of it. Now, that's not, there wasn't like, oh boy, they love Ross, because I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what was next. I had no idea what was next. And it wasn't until several weeks, maybe a month or so into that process, God, I don't remember how the timing of it all worked now. Because, I got fired in November, and it was a couple of months before we launched this. So it was a solid month into that process before Travis finally was like, hey, I think that I'm seeing an exit door here. And it wasn't until when I say double-sided sword, I mean, it wasn't until I could go back to Willis and go, okay, I think I've got an idea here. I think that Travis is maybe going to leave. I don't know what it's going to look like, I don't know what is happening here, because I can't get a lot of communication. I can't talk to a lot of people, but this is what I think we can do. So it was once I knew Travis was on board, then we could start getting things in order. Brian Duax was another one of those people. The minute he found out I had been let go, he called me and said, what are we doing? Where are you going? Where are your feet headed? And I'm with you. And man, that confidence that I had from having those people, Bruno, Brian Duax, Jason Willis, friends like Jason Shreve from JCD and Hobbies stand up and say, hey man, you got this. You guys go do your thing. Go start your own thing and do it. And we got you.
Yeah. And we couldn't have launched the show without, advertisers to start. Somebody asked, do you guys get paid to do the show? Well, of course we do. We don't show up every morning to do this for free. But that's where that traditional model comes in. It is fed by advertisers who we hope we bring value to. And, you mentioned Full Court Press and Bruno. And Bruno at the beginning was a big part of this. Willis, you mentioned Brian Duax.
First guy that reached out that we'd never had a relationship with was Corey from Bats and Bugs.
Yes.
I didn't know Corey. And then the phone rang and somebody said, hey, I heard that that you got bounced. What are you doing?
Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank
jumped on board. First time we talked to Gary, he's like, I'm in. I love you guys. I think you guys do it. And Gary, by the way, gets the sense of humor, gets the show. Yes. So always, even on days, Travis, when we were doing things, he was always a great supporter and fan. Gary listens most days, sends me texts about thoughts he's having about conversations we're having. It's awesome.
And then the Iowa Lottery jumped on for the Black and Gold Rush, Iowa corn growers. There's just been so many relationships that have been built, and it wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be possible without. And even though, and we have different levels of advertising, obviously. So some people get more advertising, but even small businesses like Josh from Priority One, right? I mean,
yeah,
he's got a small business. He has a small budget. But any way you can help add value to somebody's business is and that's what we really try to do from an advertising standpoint is, hey, just don't advertise this. It's what value can we provide to your business as we go along and do this.
And when another thing that I wanted to have as a goal, like Corey kind of started this thing in me. Another great example is Steve and Amy over at Big Sky, Sibling Rivalry, right? Where I've known Steve. Steve was my very first boss that wasn't my dad. When I worked at the maintenance, when I was a maintenance man in an apartment complex, he was my boss. It was he and I were the maintenance department. And now he's running his dad's granola company and small, family owned. They don't have a lot of, they're not swimming in cash over there. And I thought, man, if that's the type of business I want to help, those are the types of people I want to have on the air when they're doing the farmers market. And I think they'll be back again. Again, it's a small business, not a huge advertising.
Well, I mean, look at Wade over at Iowa Fireworks Farm, right?
Great example.
He only has a period of time that his business is really thriving, and that's right around the 4th of July. And he wrote us last night and said, hey, congrats, can't wait to be back on as we celebrate the 250th. Can I give you another surprise that I had?
Yeah.
And that is this. In the old world, we had to wait quarterly to know what ratings were, right?
Quarterly?
sometimes we never found out what our ratings were.
Truth, Travis. When you say quarterly, people need to understand this. If down at the radio station, when they want to know how many people are listening in January, they will find out in August. It's not. It takes 6 months, 7 months for them to process. They'll get like these leaks. Hey, we got some trends coming out.
Trends, yes. Trends look good, guys.
A month ago, people were listening to you guys a little bit more than they were 6 months ago. You guys are trending up. Now we get instant feedback.
And that can be crippling at times because you overanalyze your brain. One day you'll have X number of listeners. The next day you have Y, and you go, why did it go down? Or why did it go up? What was the bump there? But I'm looking right now, and I can see exactly how many people are listening on the audio stream. We can see exactly how many people are watching on YouTube, and it's instant analytics. I know by the end of the day, I know how long everybody listened or what the average listening time was, and you can it plays with your brain
awesome.
A lot
it
more.
Does. It's paralysis by analysis.
It really,
in a
really,
big way. I'm guilty of that. I'm very, very guilty of that. Travis and I have actually had to manipulate some things to make sure that the number of live listeners used to sit above Travis's head. And because I'm always looking at Travis, I was constantly seeing that number, and it drove me insane. And so somehow it moved over above my ugly mug, and now that's perfect for me. Perfect.
And so that was but it's also good because when advertisers or people ask for, hey, who listens to your show, who does that, you're able to provide that. Another surprise that I had, because this was my biggest worry of launching this, was would people we interview still do our show because we weren't on traditional radio? Meaning they're like, oh, we're doing a
internet radio show
at
6:30.
And the truth is, we've landed some of our best interviews we've ever had in this format. Kirk Ferentz has done this show. Jamie Pollard has done this show. And just the people who have been willing. Beth Getz has done this show.
Ben
McCollum. And the truth is, the interviews are some of my funnest part because we're able to go for a half hour.
We even landed that one 20-second interview guy. We landed him.
20-second interview guy.
Remember the guy that had interviewed all the famous people, but he does it in 20-second intervals?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We got Coach Stepsis' wife, as Jay mentions. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Jay. Good call. That was probably our most efforted guest.
And Todd Stepsis has been a big surprise because that grew into something more than football. It grew into a weekly conversation that was just went in different directions that made it a lot of fun. One person we haven't thanked, and I'm not doing it just because he's my son.
Oh.
A lot of the technology and stuff that makes this happen from an audio stream standpoint, from a hardware and software type standpoint, is Owen. He's our Raleigh Rubin King. He's our engineer, right? And when we have problems, he rolls his eyes because they're usually easy fix. But he's been there to bail me out. He's been there to bail Ross out. And when we do that, that's been a big part. Last surprise that I've had, because we're Iowa centric. There's no doubt about it. But I'm watching right now, Ross, and from Canada to Texas to Georgia, the number of people and the reach that this show has outside just the area that we talk about. Now, a lot of people are probably Iowa fans.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you, for sure. Glad you wake up with us, and we're very, very fortunate that you do. Thank you very much.
But I would say it shows, and even from Eastern Iowa to Western Iowa, and if you look at our top states, it's more of a regional reach than it is just an uber local reach, which is nice too, because people still find this interesting or entertaining. So yeah, 1 year down, man. It is it's been a ride. What would you like for year two? Anything?
I think we should. Burger McChick stole my idea. I think we need to add some traffic reports. I feel like if we could every 15 minutes or so break in with a useless speed limit trip report. and mispronounce a bunch of towns. Maybe if we could get what was that fella's name? Ron
DeMoss.
Ron DeMoss. If we could get Ron to come on and mispronounce a bunch of Cooper Daging with a nice return for the Iowa Hawkeyes last night.
Oh,
if we could get Ron to come on and Milan Momkalanovic had 43 points for the Cyclones last night.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That's what we're missing.
That's what we're missing. Traffic reports. Can't go wrong with traffic reports. We had a lot of good ideas.
Real quick, I got to say a big thank you to Tyler, by the way, in the chat. Got a phone call yesterday from a number. Answered the call. It's this young man by the name of David looking to buy a house. I'm like, hey, how'd you find out? How'd you get my number? And he goes, oh, my cousin Tyler listens to your show and is on your chat all the time. I'm like, Tyler? We close on a house, Tyler. You're getting a steak dinner. Dusty and Dusty wants to meet Tyler, so we gotta make that happen.
What I would like to do, because last year we had ideas of getting out into communities and maybe featuring small towns and stuff like that. I would like to do that. I'd like to get out more in year number 2, go to places, cut some videos, and probably the best improvement we made during the year was adding Justin Miller to the team and upping our social media game, because you work full time. I work full time after I leave here. And we were really missing a stronger social media presence. And what Justin's been able to do since November, grow a TikTok channel, produce, reels that go out every day, just highlighting what's said on the show. That to me has been a fun part.
See, too. Justin has been our Scott Boras. Not Scott Boras. I'm sorry. Scott Brocious. Scott Boras was the agent, not Scott Boras. Remember Scott Brocious? Third baseman for the New York Yankees. Yeah. Was the World Series MVP. But he'd been cut by the A's the year before. And the Yankees picked him up off the scrap heap. And they were like, we think this guy's got a lot of talent. And he became the World Series MVP. He's our Scott Brocious. We picked him up off the scrap heap and threw him back into action. And we were like, look at him go. Our Roger Clemens, our Shohei Ohtani transfer portal win was when we got our buddy Ken Payne to come join us. Now, a lot of people don't know Ken. They see him in the chat, and we've mentioned Ken in the past. Ken was one of our sales guys at the radio station and left a 10-year job that he took to come play with us. And it was huge. When we got Ken, that was one where other people in the community reached out to us and said, good job. You guys got Ken. Nice work. So that was a big win for us too. That one's a behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. A lot of people won't know that one. Not nearly as out in front as Justin. Doesn't have the ego that a Justin Miller does,
Yeah. Ken's not your typical sales guy.
He's not.
Right?
Ken is an enigma, dude.
Yeah. Because usually radio sales guys and TV salespeople, they're kind of slimy. And I mean that in a nice way. Slimy is the wrong word. But
yeah, more. I worked with way more that were wonderful people. Wonderful. There were a few slime balls in the years.
Yeah.
That snuck into the sales force. But for the most part, really good people. But Ken was one of my favorites. I mean, Ken became one of my best friends. I officiated Ken's wedding. I love the guy. And that was and leaving the radio station and leaving Ken, that was one of the people that I left behind and went, shit, man, that's a buddy. That's a friend that I don't get to work with anymore. So a couple months into this deal when we landed Ken, that was one of my things. See, I did enjoy talking about us more than I thought I was going to.
Because remember, and I forgot to mention Noel Fiscus, who didn't jump on right away, but had been with the old show, and right around October, November, he said, "You know what? I'm gonna come over." And
And I don't blame. I mean, again, small, local, family-owned
Yeah.
business doesn't have not swimming in advertising dollars to spend. Had previous commitments, had previous relationships. Those things are, and glad to have Fiscus on board because Noel fits into all those other things we talked about. Gets the show, fun guy to talk to. We should actually have him come on and BS with us going into Valentine's Day, and he could tell his story about how he got to where he is. It's really fascinating.
Burger asked, how did iHeart act my departure? I've never talked to anybody from iHeart since the day. Nobody ever called me, but it's not like I left in a traditional way, right? It's meaning that if they knew, and a lot of people were mad at me because of I kind of left Sean hanging. I didn't mean to leave Sean hanging, but the truth is, I couldn't tell anybody because they would have. I would have never got to say goodbye to people who were loyal over 15 years. It would have gotten out there. They would have tried to push back. I've talked to Sean several times, but at the end of the day, I wasn't under contract. I was a part-time employee, and I've never talked to anybody, so I don't know how did they react. Well, not against me, but heaven forbid if Ross cuts a commercial for local advertisers. I mean,
you would think I banged the boss's wife or something over there.
You really would.
You really would.
Can we tell this story?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's tell it. So, true story here, folks. Ross, go ahead, because this cracks me up.
So, a local advertiser reached out. A friend, again, another guy that I've had a relationship with for 15 years of a personal relationship, reached out and said, "Hey, I want to know if you can cut some radio spots for me." Yeah, I know how to do that. I've got the equipment here. You bet. Send me over the script and I can knock those out for you. Buddy to buddy, right? Helping a friend. Sent over the voice scripts, thought nothing of it. About 3 or 4 days later, I get a phone call and my buddy's like, "Hey, I just got a weird phone call from iHeart." "What's up?" "Apparently, they won't air the commercial that has your voice on it." Like, what? What? They air commercials with people's voices on them years after they've fired them. What are you talking about? It's like, yeah, I got a phone call that says that they won't let us run this commercial because it has your voice on it.
That's when you say we won't advertise on your show.
And basically then that guy had to call back and go, "Hey, turns out I was wrong. We can air that commercial. No harm, no foul. We can let it go." This is the same guy who has in it for years tried to stand in the way. Now, again, that's just somebody that's just somebody trying to stand in the way. They probably thought I was making money on it. And we're like, well, we can't. We got to. Is there anything we can do to affect Ross's? I don't get it. I don't get how I made that one person that mad at me. I promise I didn't sleep with his wife. Promise. I don't know. I've had a lot of people go, "Hey, why'd you get fired?" I go, "Man, it was a cut." And they go, No, really. Really, why'd you get fired?" I go, "I did get raises over the years, but that was because they changed my job.
They did.
They fired me, then rehired me. And I negotiated well for myself during those times. Last time I renegotiated, the boss at that time said, "Your head's above the line. Next time the axe swings, they're going to have to come for you because that's the way it works." I was doing less and less and less and making more and more and more, and the teetered.
Yeah, and because people were like, "Why does the guy in Omaha get to keep a job and the guy in Des Moines doesn't?" Ross,
I got a lot. It wasn't you, but I got a lot of, "Hey, how come so and so's still there?" I go, "That wasn't my decision, man." Hey,
man.
This is the thing. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to.
It did.
Everything has worked out wonderfully. I'm so grateful we get to do what we do here. I don't have to take stupid ass corporate synergy, HR, get emails every Thursday. "Hey, Ross, we noticed you're on a list. You didn't do this compliance. If we could EOD on Friday." people that have worked with you for 6 months are sending you things going, hey, Ross, we need you to prove that you know the FCC rules. How about we have a class in the basement? I teach it. Would that suffice if I went downstairs and told everybody what the questions are going to be?
How about I just voice the webinar
Would that be fine?
you had? Yeah.
It was TPS reports. Again, it's corporate. We all deal with it. Everybody that's had a corporate job deals with it. We go, God, why do we got to do this BS stuff? I had work to do today.
Now I got to take 45 minutes out of my life to get this done. Yeah, that's been the nice part, is that the non-corporate feel of what we do. But it would not be possible without everybody watching, listening, participating. And we want to thank you for the last year, because it really has been a blast. You know, of course, on Fridays, we do the weekly woohoo from the Iowa Lottery. We have another way for you to participate in the weekly woohoo, because you may have something just pop up and go, man, that'd be a good woohoo, and then you forget to call in. So now, besides calling in on Fridays at 515-517-2303, you can go to the website, go to the promotions tab, and just enter your weekly woohoo. Tell us what made you go woohoo. It's that simple. We wanted to make it a lot easier for you to participate in, and this allows especially people who don't call from the YouTube chat, just go to the website. And while you're there, celebrate 1 year with us. Go get yourself a hood. Ross has got a hoodie on.
We both are. I honestly didn't even notice you just pulled that. Hey, look at us.
Yes.
Like we planned it.
I've got the Rush Radio coffee mug. Ross has got I know, because you broke yours.
I know. But I saw Tanner earlier. Tanner, if you're still watching, he loved the Yankees mug. Thanks, Tanner. Go Yanks.
Everybody loves the Yankees mug. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm John Linares with Willis Lexus, and it's January and the deals got better. And our lease rates went down. We have a promotional 42-month term, which makes for a great value. On all gas models, we also have 2.99 for 48 months, 3.99 for 60, and 4.99 for 72 months. We've replenished our inventory of RZ this month, and we have 4 in stock. They have 0% up to 72 months, along with $2,000 of bonus cash. Stop in and see us or visit us online at willislexus.com.
Hi, it's Noel. If you're thinking about popping the question, start with a jeweler you can trust. At Fiscus Jewelers, we offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, featuring stunning engagement rings and rare and forever natural diamonds, pre-screened with advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together, and our CAD drawings are always free. And when it's time to say I do, don't forget the guys. We offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
When you're out purchasing your next home, your first call should be to Ross Peterson. Your second call, well, really, your first call should be to Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank, because you need to be pre-approved for that loan that you're going to need to buy that house, whether that's a VA, FHA, or IFA first-time buyer loan, a conventional or new construction loan. All approvals are done locally by Northwest Bank, and Gary can get you approved in 30 minutes or less, after hours even, and on weekends. He's been Iowa's top producing mortgage banker the past 7 years. So if you want a trusted mortgage professional with years of experience to handle your largest purchase, call Gary at 515-975-6767. And Ross, of course, Norm unexpectedly has become a star on. That's another surprise over the last year, is just something within our advertisers where you go, wow, I never saw that coming. And Gary has Norm, his cat, in his commercials. And when everybody sees Norm, they say Norm. And so I think we have to, with the Super Bowl right around the corner, Norm knows football.
Norm knows football.
Norm knows football. Norm's going to have to pick the Super Bowl winner. We
I
got
love
to
it.
find a way to make this happen.
I think it's a great idea. And maybe we have Norm on live with Gary. Maybe we go and shoot something with Norm. I'm not sure.
Now, live would be great. Gary, I love you. You do seem a little technologically challenged. I don't know. Sometimes we have I don't know if Norm.
First time we had him on, it was just audio. Remember that? But I think he's done well since then.
He's done, yeah.
You know, but that's a good point, though, Trav. I think what we probably do, again, Norm just seems, let's be honest, working with pets is bad enough. Working with cats.
Yeah, cats don't listen like dogs do.
Cats
or maybe they do.
Have you ever
Norm might be special. We had a cat years ago, and it accidentally got out the door, and I haven't seen it since. So an indoor cat became an outdoor cat.
Got out, and just the door never opened. That door never opened again.
Door never opened again.
Welded shut, ironically.
Have you seen the cat? Either have I. Don't know where it's at. Is it coming back? Don't know. Don't care.
I'd never had a cat. Didn't like cats. I was one of those guys that would go to other people's houses and be like, yeah, I'm not really a cat guy. And then I got a cat. I loved that cat. I loved Andres, the big cat.
What happened to Andres? Did he die?
Andres just got old. Yeah.
Okay.
Got old and died, like animals do, unfortunately, right?
Well, the weird thing is, my kids, Abigail has a cat, and then Mary has a cat, and for kids that never grew up with cats, I'm like, well, where did that come from? So, speaking of cats, did you see? And I just saw this briefly, so I don't have a lot of details. Like a skier / snow boarder / somebody going on a hike got mauled by a snow leopard because they saw the snow leopard and they thought it would be cute to go get a picture with said snow leopard.
Shut up.
They did.
What? When did this happen? Where?
Give me a second and I'll pull it up. Let's see if I can find
snow leopard. Dude, I typed in snow L and the snow leopard attacks skier is the first thing that pops up.
Yeah.
Skier suffers brutal mauling after stepping within 10 feet of snow leopard for photo. Video shows. I'm okay with the video.
It's a wild animal, folks.
Dude, how dumb are people?
People are dumb. They're like, oh, what a cute little kitty cat. It's not a kitty cat. It's a snow leopard who could be protecting her cubs, feels threatened. There's it's not going to
sees you as food.
May not, because there's a lot of you may not approach you, but if you approach said snow leopard, it's going to attack. I'm sorry you got mauled. It's your fault.
But Travis, it looked so cute. If you could have seen it, you would have walked up to it too, because it just looked so adorable.
No, I see wild animals and I leave.
Did you see animals, man? You see these videos of people like in Colorado getting out by bear and moose. Another one's moose. You know, there's that thing of like, what's the biggest animal you think you could kill with hand-to-hand combat? What's the biggest animal you think you could kill? I saw one on the internet the other day where a guy was like, my buddies and I are trying to convince our boy Charlie that he's wrong. He says his is a moose.
Aren't moose just like absolutely vicious and will F you up?
They're enormous. Have you ever seen a moose in the wild?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I've been I think it was at either Yellowstone or something. You're like, that's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
I saw one that I don't think was fully grown in Canada. Didn't even have the horns. I think it was a female. And we stopped and looked at that thing for 5 minutes in awe. A bear? I see black bear in Canada. You know, black bears are like snakes. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. And
they're trash pandas. They just want your trash. You know?
I don't think you know how afraid of snakes and bears I am. I think you are grossly underestimating how afraid of those things I am. So on the animal thing, did you see the other day? So, you know, everybody knows about the Tour de France. I thought that was one of the only bike races in the world. They have those all over the world. Okay, one of them is in Australia. It's I wish I could remember what it was called.
Tour de Australia.
It's got a more fun name than that. I promise. It's got a more fun name. Oh, Mahari, you're listening. Mahari will know the name of it. But it's basically the Tour de France in Tour de Australia.
Yeah, Tour de Outback.
Travis, the race leader, out in front, pedaling, going. Kangaroo. Doink, doink, smash.
Really?
Swear to God.
Kangaroo. Did he get up ready to fight it?
Kangaroo limps off and keeps on going, but race leader taken out by kangaroo. Have you ever seen the videos of like the cross country kids in Iowa? And, you know, like I ran cross country in high school, and you usually run on like a golf course. That's the most common thing in the fall is that you can get on a golf course and run your 3.1 miles there. Have you ever seen the video of like a herd of deer running perpendicular to the field?
I haven't.
There's one where
they're just like running along with them.
No, perpendicular, running, not parallel. So like the kids are running along a fence line. You know, they're running parallel to a fence line on their route, and here come a herd of deer to hurdle the fence. Anyway,
damn. But yeah, if you see a snow leopard, don't go up and take a selfie with it.
I had
just
not
look
seen
at
this.
it.
This is like a brand new story too.
I feel zero. I'm sorry this woman got mauled, but I don't feel sorry for you because stupid, as Forrest Gump so smartly says, stupid is as stupid does.
All right. Can I tell you how stupid I am?
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to. I'm going to watch the video.
Think about what you just said there. Somebody is walking up to take a selfie with a snow leopard, and the people go, "Hey, let's get a video of this. Let's videotape her getting a selfie with said snow leopard."
Oh, they don't have the actual video of her getting mauled. There's just the video of the people going and helping her.
Instead of going to help,
thinking. What are you thinking? And first, I'll be honest. Man, again, just being real with you here. Snow leopard's not as white as I thought it was going to be. I would just think normal leopard. So maybe that's what it was. She thought normal leopard.
How big is it? Because you know there are the sphinx that you see around, right? Or that's not sphinx. What am I thinking?
Lynx.
Yeah. Sphinx are the giant Egyptian heads that are the 7 wonders of the world or whatever. A lynx looks like a cat, right? It's a smaller, but you don't approach said lynx.
Oh, you know where this happened?
Where?
I thought this happened in like Colorado.
Is this like in the Italian Alps?
Happened in Fuyun County along China's northern border with Mongolia.
Well, you're sure as hell not going to mess with a Chinese frickin' snow leopard.
It was probably a language barrier. If they probably just couldn't communicate well. She was probably trying to speak to it in Mongolian. Footage shows a woman who reportedly edged as close to 10 feet to the leopard, lying motionless in the snow as the predator hovered nearby after mauling her. Witnesses then appeared to help her guide her way as blood poured from her face. Local reports noted that the woman miraculously survived, partly because her helmet helps prevent more serious harm. So again, if you have a chance encounter with a snow leopard, make sure you keep your helmet on.
Tyler so rightly points out in the community chat, I don't think we have leopards here.
You're right about that, Tyler.
What would be the equivalent if we were up in the would it be kind of like a mountain lion?
Oh, in the United States, yeah. Mountain lion would be the closest thing to it. But man, snow leopards are like extremely rare, I thought too. Or am I wrong about that? I thought that isn't a snow leopard like in the movie Walter Mitty, which is a fantastic fun movie. Have you seen that? The Ben Stiller?
I've only seen it once, but that's the Ben Stiller one where
I really like Walter Mitty. In that's what Sean Penn's trying to track down and see.
I think so. He's the photographer, right? Yeah. You know, I mean, this is how scared I am of wild animals. You know, we have a pretty good zoo over here in Omaha, right? Really, really good zoo. Number one zoo in the world. And
Henry Doyley Zoo.
And I'll walk up to the gorilla cage, which has like 4-inch glass. But even if the gorilla comes straight up to the glass, I'm taking like 3 steps back, right? I'm not getting like real because I know they can pound on the glass and it's supposed to be able to take their force, but I'm still like, I'm going to take a step back. I don't want to be close to said gorilla. Scares the hell out of me.
Gorillas, I'm with you, Trav. That's why that thing about like 100 men versus a gorilla, I was always like, no. Now, several of my friends were like, yeah, Ross, we weren't talking about you. Of course, you're not in the group, dude. Oh.
We don't want Ross as part of this group.
I'll sit up there and commentate. I'll let everybody else know how it goes.
Just know that several of you are going to die, right? I mean, there may be a last man standing, and congratulations to you, but 90% of you are probably going to die in that attack. At what point was she approaching the snow leopard and she goes, oh, this is a bad idea? Because I want to believe
not until it mauled her, Travis.
You don't think the snow leopard went,
I think when the snow leopard got close to her, her thought was, it's coming in for a kiss. I bet you she did. I bet it wasn't until the fangs hit her face that she was like, oh, that's aggressive.
Bad idea.
That's aggressive. Oh, no, kitty cat. No, I love. That's what I think. I don't think it's a bad idea until you know it's a bad idea. She thought she was going to go over there and pet that cat and walk away. Again, man, you see these videos from Colorado all the time. People getting out and standing next to moose. I think the alligator thing, man, those people that go and they're like, oh yeah, there's an alligator, crocodile. I see fishing videos a lot, and guys will be like, hey, this is why it's important to wear your polarized sunglasses in Florida. I'm fishing along this bank, but check out the polar. And they go, and there's a freaking alligator like 3 feet from the bank. Leave. What are you doing? And these guys just feel like, yeah, well, it's just an alligator.
Yeah, I've seen the death roll alligator thing, and the last thing I want to do is die by alligator. And going back to your moose thing, They're fast too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't moose faster than what you look at their big rack and how their size? Like, there's no way they can run, but you're not going to outrun a moose.
Rob says, ask Steve Irwin about messing with wild animals. He's one of the guys that I used to love that guy. He was so much fun, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he was entertaining. He had a personality. But thank God he's not. I mean, I shouldn't say thank God he's not around today because that sounds mean. But he would probably inspire people to do really stupid things with their phones and go. Well, Steve Irwin can do it.
That already happened. I think he inspired enough idiots to do dumb things. Did you ever hear the Norm Macdonald bit that he did about Steve Irwin?
No,
I loved both of those guys. So it's not meant to be mean, but it's a funny observation. It's like, man, this guy went and wrestled the most dangerous animals in the world. And then he got killed by a fish. He's like, can you imagine how that news spread in the alligator world, the crocodile world? And they were like, hey, did you hear that Steve Irwin died? And they're like, oh, who got him? Was it Frank? Frank always wanted to get that son of a bitch. I bet Frank got him, didn't he? No, it wasn't Frank. Who got him? Some fruity fish.
Is a stingray a fish? Just curious. Is it a form of fish because it lives in the water?
What else would it be?
I don't know.
I don't
look at a stingray. I don't look at a stingray and go, that's a descendant from the northern pike. I only threw northern out there.
Listen, we need Eli. We need a marine biology student here. I have no idea. Thank you. Chris Meharry says the name I was looking for was the Tour Down Under. That was the name of the Australian bike race where the leader gets taken out by a kangaroo.
Meharry's on a date. He's over here listening this morning.
Saw that.
Yeah. He's celebrating. So he launched his relationship same time we launched our show because Meharry's the man. Though he's throwing me off. And Meharry is like the show photographer. Wherever we show up, Meharry seems to show up and take photos of us and takes really good photos. But he's normally, in his seersucker, his colorful outfits, and a hat. Lately, he's been posting a lot on socials with no hat. And I'm like,
he's got the flow.
Dude.
got
and salt and pepper
hair.
gray, silver. You're like, man,
you're doing. Did you say he does 200 push-ups a day or something like that?
Yeah.
Chris is the man. Meharry's the man. I'm with you, Trav. I don't know that I'd ever seen him without a really nice hat on.
Yeah.
And then we were at a Celebration of Life a couple weeks ago, and I walked in, and here came this very dapper-looking, gray hair, salt and pepper haired gentleman. Like, Harry's got
game,
dude.
Got game. He walks in with, I'm Chris Meharry. So the lesson here today, kids, is don't go take a selfie with a snow leopard. Just leave the snow leopard alone. If you see a raccoon, don't go, oh, that's a cute little raccoon. I'm going to go take a picture with it. If you see a possum, just let it play dead. That's it. Don't touch wild animals. It's not safe.
Go to try to take a picture with a snow leopard. That you got to have something. There's something off there.
Because I know you were into this, and I guess it's an extreme sport. Did you watch that thing on Netflix on Friday? The kid.
Oh my gosh, Alex Honnold. I love Alex. I loved him. I saw that Free Solo documentary several years ago where he does El Capitan without any ropes or anything. Crazy. It is one of the most, if not the most, edge of your seat documentary I've ever watched. Like one of those literal, you notice yourself sitting on the edge of your seat. It has a specific moment in it called the karate kick, where he has to pull off this insane move, like, 9,000 feet in the air, holding on to this flat rock with nothing but chalk in his sneakers.
Well, he
And then-
climbed that building the other day.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it live. I've seen highlights. What kind of freaked me out is he took it to another. It wasn't just that he got to the top of the building. He said, "Let's climb the spire," and then he gets up to the very top with that rounded like antenna. I'm like,
it's like this.
Yeah, and you're like, dude.
And he with no hands.
The wind alone should have blown you off that thing.
Travis, have you seen the video from inside the like selfie video type thing from inside the building where he's navigating around and the wind's whipping so hard it's pulling his shirt up and he's holding on, he's waving at people. He's going along, grabbing, he's holding on to like little 2 inches of steel. Did you hear them say that they have like studied his brain and he basically doesn't process fear? Did you hear him talk about this at all?
Is that good or bad?
I mean, if we want to watch a guy do the crazy things that he does, the first moves that he did from the ground to get 8 feet off the ground, I couldn't have done. The first move that he did. Then he gets up. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, first of all,
takes about an hour and a half for him to climb one of the tallest buildings in the world. An hour and a half.
It's unreal to watch. It's unreal. You see the wind whipping, and then he has to climb 10 of these. They called them dragon faces, but they're these ornamental designs. I mean, they took an impossible building to climb and then took the most impossible angle and route. They made him go over 10 different weird obstacles. It's wild.
How much like reconnaissance did he have to do before he did that? I mean, you probably had to study that building like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah. The same thing with El Capitan. He knows every move he's going to make the entire face of the rock. So Travis, I almost wondered as I was thinking about that, if this was, because he's got to be on the spectrum. He has to be somewhere like he's so process driven. Every time he climbed one of those 10 dragon heads, he did the exact same movements. His feet were landing within inches of the exact same spots. His hands were hitting on that if you watch them side by side, it almost looks like the same thing he's doing. So I think that he probably had that repetitive, meticulous, Tyler is a great word for it. He probably had that repetitive, meticulous mindset down. He knew before he took off from the ground what every hand hold was going to look like on the way up.
You brought up the Free Solo documentary, and that was a little different in the way it was filmed, but this one was kind of creeping me out because, you know, they had the helicopter flying around. They went to shots of people who were inside the building, like waving at him, supporting him. Like, talk about a distraction. How do you not get bothered by? You'd want to be so dialed in, like, don't talk to me, don't distract me.
He also talked to the host, because at one point he got on top of one of them and started talking to the host, and they're like, "Hey, stand out near the edge of the building. We're going to have people on the ground yell up at you." And so the people, they're like, "All right, everybody yell for Alex." And they're screaming and yelling. And he's out on the edge of the building, standing there waving. And the host says, "Hey, can you back up? You're making me nervous."
Oh, man.
It was intense. And then if you enjoy that, if that's the type of, there are about 4 or 5 really good climbing documentaries that are like that tell different stories. It's not just watch guys climb. There's some really good climbing documentaries.
That would be for the Summer Olympics. Something that I could watch is people climbing skyscrapers on time, because there's always the element of death. You're like, we can have death at the Olympics. Folks, pump it up with Unleaded 88. It's grown by corn farmers right here in the state of Iowa. So pump it up with Unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org to learn more. We got an hour in the books. We got an hour to go. Great to have you along this morning on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
More Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Hey everybody, Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Mini of Des Moines. Got some exciting things going on this month. Lease an all-new Mini Countryman for as low as $369 a month. On top of that, we have rates as low as $2.99 out to 48 months. On top of that, we have more exciting news. Currently on our lot, we have 2 all-new John Cooper Works Countrymans. For more information, visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com or stop by and visit your favorite Mini motoring advisor.
Game on? Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Buying a car is one thing, keeping it running is another. That's where Willis Automotive really separates itself. Their service department is top-notch. They take care of you long after you drive off the lot. New or used, sales or service, start at willisauto.com. Willis Automotive proudly powers the Rush Radio Show. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. Leave your comments in the comment section. And, of course, follow us on our social media channels. Just talking about Willis Service, Ross. You have your car at Willis Service, right?
Just picked up the Jeep yesterday again. Had some, man, it's time. It's time. That was the last big repair I'm doing on the Jeep. That was it. So next time something happens, it's a new vehicle.
I can show you a really nice Defender. You can't go wrong with the Defender.
I bet you can.
I have been seeing a lot of Defender commercials. You know, I'm like, no. I like having a car that you don't see a lot on the road.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't advertise a Defender, but I get why you do. It's a great car, and we got to take it through the course. So, yeah. But we mentioned the service department and great service at Willis.
They do an awesome job. I've been blown away. Love it.
One more animal story. Mahari writes us. He goes, he's got a relative that lives in Estes Park, and people want to go up to the elk, and get their pictures taken, and they get charged. Yeah, because they're wild animals and they feel threatened. Don't threaten a wild animal because they'll do wild things.
An elk.
I mean, when I see a deer, I don't go approach said deer. I just go, oh, don't hit my car, and I won't hit you.
Even a deer without antlers, a doe. I'm like, it's got teeth.
Of course, Super Bowl 60 is coming up. We talked a lot about the matchup yesterday. I just want to throw a couple things out there, Ross. This will be the first Super Bowl since 1981. So you're going back in time. First Super Bowl since 1981 that both teams in the Super Bowl started the season with 50-1 odds or worse get to the big game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when you look at it, 50-1 odds, if you put some money on the Patriots, which was probably worse odds than 50-1, or you put money on the Seahawks, your future bet paid off. But these two teams, when you look at what the gamblers thought or the books thought, these are two teams that aren't supposed to be in the Super Bowl. In fact, the Patriots had one of, if not the best turnarounds in NFL history. They won 4 games last year. 4 games, and then you get all the way to the Super Bowl.
I guess if you were going to, this is really hard. Go back to the beginning of the season. Who were the favorites? Eagles, Chiefs, Niners. I don't know who. I bet that's interesting. 50-1
or worse. Yeah. So but first time since 1981 that at least both teams fit that profile. And another milestone that's going to be made in this year's Super Bowl. Drake May, at age 24, will be the youngest quarterback ever to start a Super Bowl, surpassing Ben Roethlisberger when he took the Steelers to a Super Bowl early in his career. So Drake May, who was a pick in the 2024 draft, will become the youngest quarterback. Boy, that puts a lot of pressure on you, doesn't it? I mean, it's like, well, you did it at 24.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady, time for a Tom Brady type run.
I see what you're saying. I think in the game, this is a good question. Which one of those quarterbacks? I mean, I've said they're both feeling an amazing amount of pressure, and they're feeling it, right? You got one guy who is a bit of a journeyman now. Played for 5 different
comeback story. It's your quintessential comeback story. Look at this guy, riches to rags, back to riches.
Yep. Or the guy who is coming in it for the first time. Because initially when you said, boy, he's got to feel a lot of pressure, I thought you meant for next Sunday. And I thought, well, no, he probably isn't feeling. He's probably thinking to himself, oh, yeah, this is the way it goes. This is how this works.
No, the pressure is, what have you done for me lately?
The pressure from that comes from after you are a 24-year-old in the Super Bowl, and then you're a 27-year-old with 1 Super Bowl, you're a has-been.
Why haven't you got us back here?
Michael wants a clarification. Are you youngest since Marino? But you said the youngest ever to play in the Super Bowl.
Youngest
in the Super Bowl.
To start it, let me go back. I believe it was to start a Super Bowl. Do the quick Google machine where I got the story.
I hadn't seen this one this morning.
Bum, 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 bum.
I mean, we could have let Justin do his job here, too. Justin's probably screaming at his computer right now.
Probably.
Rob says Marino was younger, but that's all right. I mean, either way, he's 24 years old.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad. I read it wrong. It is the second youngest quarterback. Youngest since Roethlisberger. So I apologize for that.
Oh, you're fine, brother. Promise you.
But see, that's how fast our community works. They point out our bullshit.
Yeah. And by the way, Timmy T-Box is right. This is why we pay Justin.
True.
We just washed the dishes, then put them in the dishwasher. What are we doing?
I must be dyslexic. I can't separate the word first and second.
You are fine. You're totally fine.
And we have a forgiving audience, which is nice.
I got some goofy stuff for you. You want some fun stuff today? I got some fun stuff.
It's our 1 year anniversary. We got to have goofy fun stuff. We have to have Ross's rabbit hole stuff.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. We can also get to the I've got a fun documentary for you. I watched the other day. I called Justin right away. I was 15 minutes into this documentary and I called Justin. I said, "Watch this today." I had called him, I think Saturday. It was Saturday morning. It was before anything was going on. So he got a chance to watch it. It's a documentary that in the title of it, it gives you exactly what the documentary is about. Okay? Ready? The documentary is called Secret Mall Apartment.
So I hear that and I think somebody doesn't have a place to live and they went full like terminal and just found a place. Or what was that one where
Terminal's a good one? Isn't that the one where Tom Hanks just lives in the? It's
And
based on a true story, by the way.
Yeah. And what was the one where the girl was left by her boyfriend at a Walmart and she lived in a Walmart for a little bit?
Basically, so here's the deal. Blue collar New England town. They're going to build a new mall in the 90s, okay, right in the heart of this blue collar town. And there's a bunch of street artists, graffiti artists, underground artist type that live in this community. And so as they're building the mall, one of those artists notices an empty, dead space in the architecture. He watches them build this building and he says, wait, there's a space up there that they never finished. There's a space that I watched them store construction stuff in, and now it's not finished. So once they open the mall, he finds that empty space.
We call that in the construction world shelled space. It's just like
shelled. Okay.
Shelled
he
space.
finds one of the shelled spaces, Travis, and turns it into an apartment for 4 years.
Did he have water?
Doesn't necessarily live there. Okay, no, he's got access to the mall, so he can go down and use the bathrooms whenever he wants. He has access to the mall, so he runs a drop cord to have electricity. They plug in a PlayStation. They bring a china cabinet. They bring in sofas. They make for 4 years. This group of 8 artists make a pact. They're not going to tell anybody. They're not going to turn it into a party house. They don't do what my friends and I would have done up there. They don't go up there and party and destroy the place and we'd have been smoking pot and beer bongs and all sorts of stuff, right?
It's their secret space. It's their secret bachelor pad.
And the 8 of them hold to that pact for 4 years. They basically use it as kind of just a hangout place. It's a fun documentary about.
Give it away. How'd they get found out?
The mall hires 2 new security guards that are 20 years old and are curious. And so these kids end up building a wall, putting a door they have their own key for their own apartment. They go all out. It's amazing to see what these kids do. And these security guards find this door that their all access key doesn't access. So they kick the door in and find this apartment. And there's nobody in there. So the security guards do what me and my buddies would have done. They start using this as like their little party spot. So then when the 8 come back and find out that they've been discovered, that's when, but it ends up being on the news. Like they didn't get in big trouble. It wasn't like they got, thrown in jail or anything. It was basically like, hey, you shouldn't have done this, but really cool. So anyway, if you're looking for a fun one, I don't remember if it was Netflix or Hulu or Tubi, but Secret Mall Apartment was a fun little run.
God, the millions of stories that are out there that are probably like this, right? Yeah. This would be a good documentary.
Yeah, it's a fun one about how the mall cut apart their community and what that community was, and it was kind of a East Side little blue collar community that got cut off by this big mall, and this was kind of these little 8 artists' way of just kind of putting their thumb back in the eye of the system. Tony says it's on Netflix.
Good idea for abandoned malls. Just make them into large apartments.
Great idea, actually. Yeah, now that you say that.
You've got the square footage. People can have
Travis,
their walking communities every day. Hey, want to go on a walk? We're going to walk the mall.
Travis, did you ever have, do you remember your first apartment?
I do. My
Shithole?
first, no.
Okay.
I need clarification.
Okay.
First apartment with roommates or first apartment living by myself?
That's a good question. For this, I do believe this is going to qualify under living by yourself. First one, living by yourself.
Okay, I forget what street it on because my first apartment ever was right behind the old Dolls on Merle Hay.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Then what's that main road that goes by like North High School and that road that goes up to Merle Hay? It's a pretty big
Well, from
north maybe
north,
it's not North High School, but it's on it like leads to Merle Hay.
East-west, you're saying? Because
Yes,
Merle Hay goes north-south. You're saying east-west, Douglas?
It's Douglas.
Okay.
I lived in a shithole on Douglas. And I mean, one, because my situation on Merle Hay wasn't going well. I had two roommates that were not responsible, at least not as responsible as I was. I knew I had to get out, but I couldn't afford much. I'm sorry. My parents didn't want to spend a lot of money on rent while I was still in school. So they wanted to keep it about the same. And it was a 1-bedroom, sketchy. Looking back, it was probably not safe.
Do you remember what you paid per month?
Oh, it was probably $400 or $500. This was back in like 1991, 1992. I mean, to where I had to worry about when I opened the medicine cabinet in the bathroom if I was going to get shocked or not. You know,
I thought you were going to say like mice or cockroaches were going to come out.
You turn the lights on, and it's like out of Joe versus the volcano. You turn the light. There are those fluorescent. You can hear the buzzing. You're like, am I going to get shocked if I get out of the shower and open this thing? And I remember one night there's somebody outside my door just beating the crap out of another person. I mean, it was not good. I want to believe these things have been torn down. I haven't driven that stretch of road since I moved out, but if they're still there, I feel sorry for the people that live there. Just saying.
Berger's got a story for us. He says, my first apartment was next door to a traveling stripper apartment. Oh, very interesting. Look at
a little jealous.
Oh my God. Our knee-jerk reactions to that could not have been any different. Because you're like, oh.
Well, I mean,
my first thought is like, oh man, that dude got some stories out of that.
Maybe got some action out of that.
We all knew that's what you were thinking. Here's why I bring it up. Because NBA millionaire Moses Moody is locked in a lawsuit about his very first condo that he owned after he was drafted into the NBA. The multimillionaire is locked in a $12,000 lawsuit.
$12,000, even though he's a millionaire.
It's in small claims court. Legit, the former landlord, has just issued it in small claims court, even though he claims that Moody owes him close to $20,000. He's only asking for the maximum $12,500 that you can seek in small
claims court.
Small claims court. Thank you, Travis. So this goes back to a San Francisco apartment. This thing ain't an apartment, I'll tell you that. So the landlord calculated a remaining balance of close to $20,000 because of a lot of different issues he found with the apartment when he got back, when Moody finally moved out, okay? He'd only lived there for about 6 months. And during his time there, he caused some pretty serious damage to the unit. All right. So the San Francisco Gate reports that the ceilings and walls were damaged due to a water leak, resulting from failure to run the required ventilation when doing laundry, with the moisture affecting hardwood floors, carpet, and interior surfaces throughout several units. Water-related issues, the landlord alleges that electrical switches, window frames, wall surfaces, were damaged by holes drilled into the property. He had to have professional water mitigation services restore damaged hardwood floors and repair bedroom carpeting and electrical fixtures. He claims that he's owed around $28,000 in repairs and unpaid rent. After deducting his security deposit and interest, he's calculating a remaining balance of around $20,000. Because he wasn't venting his laundry the right way, he caused water damage throughout several different units in this apartment complex.
I just have a question. If you're in an apartment and it's not vented the right way, is that the renter's problem or is that the owner's problem who should have properly vented said washing machine and dryer?
Good question. He was running a 7th floor Mission Bay unit back in 2021, less than a month after he was selected 14th in the NBA draft. The lease carried a monthly rent of $6,500 and was originally scheduled to run through October 2025. He lived there. Oh, I said it was a couple months. I'm sorry. It was like he lived there for like 4 years. I thought it was 4 months. August 21 until October 2025. He lived there for 4 years. Since vacating, he's relocated to a luxury residential high-rise where units
6,000 was the slums?
Where units are more than $18,000 per month.
Think about what you just said there. $18,000 a month.
Travis, he's got a 3-year, $37 million contract. He makes $11 million a year. Makes $1 million a month.
I'd still be like, I got to pay 18 grand in rent.
Rent? What are you renting for, dude?
Yeah. Call Ross at Agency Iowa and he can get you a really nice home.
First call is Gary Presnell, just like it was for David. Yeah. Just like if you call me, first thing I would say is, you pre-approved? Wouldn't that be a great call? You pre-approved? Hey, man, you might want to Google me.
Yeah. What if Gary's ever done that? Like somebody called, what's your income? Yep, you're approved. You're approved.
I've only had one. I had a client one time that was moving in from a different state. Okay. And I got the impression right away when they told me what they were looking for. I was like, oh, they got money. So they have to get pre-approved, and their lender calls me and says, hey, here's the deal. They're real reluctant to prove to me that they have the money. So I can't even show them houses yet because they can't get pre-approved because they're telling me they got money, but they won't prove it to anybody. And you got to prove it. You can't just say everybody says they have money. You got to prove it, right? And like a week later, that lender calls me and he goes, they got money. You show them anything that they want to buy. Show them 9 houses if you want. They got money.
At any price range. Don't worry about that.
Said, you write the offer. I got the pre-approval. I said, okay. Sounds good.
So Ross showing up. So what do you guys do for a living? Don't worry about it.
I'll just say this. One of them didn't work.
Nice problem to have. So is this thing going to get settled in small claims court?
Yeah, probably, especially with the $12,000. Somebody's going to reach in and say, Moses, pay this money and get out of this. You're paying more in rent.
Yeah, you
You're
pay
paying
18 grand a month, but to
you're holding on
me,
to 12,000 because after 4 years you had some damage on an apartment. Pay the man.
though, if it wasn't his fault, meaning if the owner didn't have it, because usually you move in an apartment, your washer and dryer is already there. If it's not, you just do it right to the hookups, unless you reconfigured said.
Well, in fact, they say ventilation. Did he just not connect his dryer vent to his dryer and then ran the dryer for 4 years without realizing what he was doing? No, I didn't sell a house to the cartel. The guy was in the medical field and came from money.
So trust fund baby plus really high performer.
Now you're getting that. Now you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. There is this is a sports and politics convergence story. Okay.
Oh,
no,
you're scaring me.
No. I promise this one's kind of goofy, kind of fun. Okay. Because I love it when they refer to goofy things in like a technical way, right? So, for instance, this story is about skeleton, luge, and bobsleigh. I love it when they put bobsleigh instead of bobsled. Did you know that our national committee is actually called bobsleigh?
I did not.
Yeah. Here's how I found that out. So Bobsleigh Canada Skeleton. That's one group, just so you know. Bobsleigh Canada Skeleton is the name of the skeleton team for Canada in the bobsleigh division of the.
I got you.
Okay. So here's what happened. There's this lady by the name of Katie Eulander. Katie Eulander has represented the United States in 5 different Winter Olympics, going back to 2006 all the way through 2022. She was hoping to compete in the 2026 Olympics, which would have given her her 6th Olympics. She was denied entry into the Milan Cortina Olympics when her final qualification event in the North American Cup at Lake Placid underwent some changes. Several Canadian competitors backed out at the last minute going into this. Yeah, these Canadians.
Did they do it because of the politics of today?
Well, why they did it is up for debate. Okay, but here's what did happen. Once all of the Canadian competitors backed out of this North American qualifying event, it eliminated the qualification standards.
Oh.
So Katie Eulander goes on and wins the event, but it doesn't count. It's just some event. She just went sledding down a hill. She didn't compete in any qualifying event. So she doesn't have the amount of points to actually be in the Olympics at the skeleton. She's asking J.D. Vance to get involved. She's claiming that this is...
You hate him till you need him. You hate him till you need him.
This is from CNN.com. The Lake Placid incident has thrown skeleton into turmoil. The International Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation, the IBSF, quickly dismissed Eulander's complaints after its interim integrity unit. So just to pause for a second here. The International Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation has an interim integrity unit. All right. They ruled that Cecchini had not breached its rules. That's the Canadian guy. Code of conduct or code of ethics. Eulander accuses the governing body of a flawed investigation and that the evidence or testimony from the athletes competing in Lake Placid was never considered. Quote, it saddens me that they didn't respond to my email with the evidence, Eulander explained. They didn't reach out to any of the affected parties, not even afterwards, to make sure anyone was okay. And it makes the community feel isolated from the governance. I think this is an opportunity for all of us to come together. I swear to you, I'm reading from a CNN article about skeleton. She'd like to see the community come together, Travis.
Yep.
All of us, quite frankly.
All of us. Together. Kumbaya. Kumbaya. We mentioned a lot of the partners that have been with us throughout the year. We also want to thank Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company. One of my favorite things over the last year is visiting Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company in Atlantic. The production line was absolutely amazing. We got to drink a Coke fresh off the canning process. From backyard barbecues to tailgates or road trips, grab your Coke, Dasani water, Powerade, or energy drink from Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company because it keeps your fridge stocked with the brands that you want. Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Oh, did see you there. Happy New Year for myself and everyone else over here at Land Rover Des Moines. My personal New Year's resolution is to take better care of my car, and that starts with an oil change. Come on down for $25 off your service. You can give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiskus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiskus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner at Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Happy New Year for myself and everyone else over here at Willis Volvo. My New Year's resolution this year is to take better care of my car, and that starts with an oil change. You can come on down for $25 off your service. Visit us online at willisvolvocars.com or give us a call to get scheduled.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along on a Tuesday, the 27th of January. If you missed the first part of the show, Ross and I celebrating our 1-year anniversary on this little business venture that we're on. And we thank you personally for joining us every morning. If you just found us, we appreciate you finding us. Hope you come back for another day. Do us a favor, though. Over this 1-year journey, tell one person you think who doesn't listen to us to go check us out and become part of our little group here where we gather every single morning. You watched that Arizona BYU game last night?
I did not. No. How'd it go?
Oh, dude, Arizona ended up winning 86-83. They were up double digits in the second half, Ross. BYU went on a 12-2 run with just about over a minute left, had an opportunity to tie it or win it, but a play happened really late where Robert Wright was on a drive, and he came in, and I think a lot of BYU people, and if this would have happened at Iowa State, we'd be probably calling foul today. But you kind of watch it and go, do you call a foul there or do you not call it? It was a block shot. And listen, basketball is a physical game. You've got to let them play a little bit. And the more I watch it, I'm like, that's a good no call. I mean, your first reaction is, how do you not call a foul? But then you watch it over and over again. I go, that was actually a pretty good no call. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm going to watch it right now so I can take my own impression of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, officials can't get it right, can they?
Yeah. But I just sit there and go, that first thing I'm like, how do you not call a foul there? Then I'm watching it. Then you watch it so much. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good no call. If you're a BYU fan, you're ticked off and wondering it. But the more I watch, I'm like, nah.
So it kind of comes in from an odd angle right now. I'm watching it right now. Hand on the ball. Oh boy.
Maybe a little contact there, but is it?
That is one of those. You see what you want to see on that.
You do. You really do. And that's why I said, if it were Iowa State this morning, we're like, how do you not call a foul there? How do you not do that? But then when you don't have an emotional attachment and you don't care about either one of those teams, at first I'm like, man, it's a foul. But then I watch it and watch it. I'm like, I don't think it was. I think it was.
It's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, it is in the eye of the beholder.
I've just watched it 3 or 4 times there. In the amount while we were on there, I just got to see it.
Yeah.
I think if that were a Hawkeye player, I'm mad as hell that there's hand-to-hand contact there. He blocks the shot by hitting his arm, anyway. It's the fair catch thing.
It wasn't a fair
catch. It wasn't a fair catch. He didn't. He would have saved it. You see what you want to see.
Arizona now 21-0, still unbeaten on the best start in Arizona's history. They are the clear-cut number 1 team in the country. They've earned that right. And you go into a very, very hostile atmosphere like they had at BYU last night, and you lead most of that game. You're up double digits. You withstand the comeback. That's a quality win. And the reason they're number 1. You got a big game tonight. Huge game tonight nationally, as number 3 Michigan is at home to play number 5 Nebraska. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Number 5 Nebraska, also undefeated on the season. And I don't know if you know, Justin and I, we text back and forth when Nebraska's playing. I don't think you've watched very much Nebraska, but it's an unselfish team. But man, I keep saying we're going to learn a lot. Well, you're talking about a team that's beaten Michigan State, has beaten Wisconsin, has won at Illinois. I think they have more quad 1 and 2 wins than any team in the country. But it's like, yeah, but you got to prove it, right? It's just because, I've got a lot of my friends who are ticked. They're happier now because they're ranked number 5. But, last week when they were number 7, they're like, if this would have been Duke or North Carolina with the same record, they'd be number 1 in the country. I said, yeah, there is something to go with street cred in history. I go, Nebraska football enjoyed it for a number of years after they weren't good, that you got a little bit more slack because now that's gone away over 25 years. But there was a from 2005 to 2012, you got the benefit of the doubt because of your jersey. You're right. If North Carolina was 20-0, they'd be number 2 or number 1 in the country. I don't dispute that. But don't say, hey, this is what I don't like about teams that get good in a rapid pace. Respect me now.
Yeah.
Where's my respect? You got to earn it.
Treat me like the people that have always been here. Treat me like the people that have always been.
Life doesn't.
Man, you got to earn that
way. Even though they got to the playoff last year, a lot of people went, you got to earn that respect.
Yes.
You got to earn trust. Like, are you really for real?
Travis, they have 2. I mean, I love this Nebraska story. I'm rooting for Fred. I think this is cool. Neat. Okay. They've beat 2 ranked teams and by, I think, a total of like 6 points. They're not blowing out anybody. I mean, they're not blowing out any. They haven't played any great teams. They're going to play a great team tonight.
Illinois is great. Illinois is
really good. Illinois is not in that elite category. They're really good, and they and Nebraska went in and beat them. Was that game at Illinois too?
That was at Illinois.
And then Michigan State. That game was at Nebraska. I believe
that was at Nebraska,
right?
Yeah.
And they won that one by 2.
Game. Yeah.
They beat Illinois by a handful of points. So again, they're winning the games. They're right where I think that they should be in that top 5. And by the way, doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't.
Doesn't matter what number they put by your name right now. Just keep winning. And then at the end of it, it'll all shake out. And maybe you will be a 2 seed when you think you're supposed to be a 1 seed, or you'll be on the 3 line when you think you should.
Just be happy people are talking about your program.
Yeah, right. Wow, Nebraska. What a change in conversation we've had. And that's why you're not getting the respect you have, because are they right in that if it were a Kansas, a North Carolina, a Gonzaga goes years where they're 21-0 and they haven't played anybody and they're ranked number 1 or 2. Well, why is that? Because Gonzaga went a decade of being an Elite 8 team.
100%. They went and played. They earned the right. It didn't happen overnight.
Right.
It takes time. And just because you come from a Power 4 conference, and by the way, I use Indiana football as an example. Even in year 1 of Kurt Signetti, it wasn't like, hey, we really respect Indiana. It was like, do we believe in this?
Look at the smoke and mirrors happening over here. Indiana thinks they're good this year. Hell, until a couple weeks ago, we were saying that exact same thing about Nebraska basketball. I mean, and you still can.
Yeah, 100%.
Until we see what happens tonight.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Booker. Booker, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, boys? Love your show.
Thanks, man.
Hey, have you ever noticed that Fred Hoiberg's son looks like Bud Bundy from Married with Children playing basketball out there?
Looks like Bud Bundy.
Yeah, from Married with Children, he does. Right?
Oh, we know.
Like all the guys are twice as fine.
Booker, I like that you thought you had to clarify who Bud Bundy was when you said Bud Bundy.
We all knew who you were talking about.
We all knew who you were talking about. What a fun show.
Hey, Travis, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Well, and Ross, too, but I was watching Nebraska the other day, and they kept referring to Fred Hoiberg as the mayor. Oh, wait a minute. He's the mayor of A. Well, since he's been in Nebraska, he's not the mayor of Lincoln.
Very few people over here call him the mayor. I think it's one of those things that stuck with broadcasters, and it's one of those nicknames that's always going to stick. Would you agree with that, Ross? It's just like it was coined there, and it's just. I'm not saying it's the right thing, but it's low hanging fruit for people that come in.
It's his nickname. His nickname is the mayor, but I completely agree with Booker. Like,
yeah, I don't look at him and go, well, you didn't grow up there, and you didn't go to school there, and it doesn't make sense. But it's a nickname.
Congratulations on 1 year, guys, and Ross,
Thanks,
I hope to see you on Groundhog Day, buddy.
What's that, buddy?
So congratulations on 1 year, and I hope to see you at Groundhog Day so we can buy you a beer.
Oh, hope to see me. Yeah, when it's free. I like that, Booker. Get me a free beer. No, again, I love it, man. Hope so. I haven't even talked to Bruno. I need to talk to Bruno because I could absolutely pack up the stuff and go down there. That's not next Monday?
I think it is next Monday or Tuesday, right?
Monday? Is this Monday? I could pack up
every day is Groundhog's Day for us because we're in the same spot every single day, same music, same intro. It's Groundhog's Day every single day for us in a good way, in a very
Married with Children. Married with Children. That was a fun show. It was so different because, I grew up in the Cosby. I grew up in Different Strokes where everything was prim and proper and dad was wearing a suit and was a doctor. And then all of a sudden Married with Children showed up and it was so dirty and gritty and real. And I didn't grow up in it. everything I'd ever watched, things were more white collar than my family. And now all of a sudden there was this thing where dad was this angry, disgruntled shoe salesman. Mom wore all this flamboyant makeup. It was so different. Sister was amoral. Yeah.
I think it was popular because it was dysfunctional and people could relate to the dysfunction.
Travis, you know another show you just nailed? Roseanne. That's why Roseanne was popular. Roseanne, it went from June Cleaver sitting down and giving the kids advice to mom saying, go play in the highway. I don't care. And I think that was relatable to people. They were like, oh yeah, that's the house I grew up in. Can I get a Woe Bundy? Did you watch Married with Children a lot?
I mean, it's just, I haven't watched a lot of the reruns. So
you watched Kelly Bundy, didn't you?
I watched Kelly Bundy.
Yeah.
Who didn't watch Kelly Bundy? That's where people fell in love with Christina Applegate.
Listen, I tell you what, I'll be honest, as a young boy, didn't mind me some Peg Bundy.
I would agree.
What's her name? What's her real name?
Segal.
Katie Segal. Yeah. And then she was in like Sons of Anarchy. I had not heard of her or seen of her except for on Futurama. She was the voice of the lady on Futurama. And then all of a sudden she was in a real show playing a real lady. I was like, oh, she's an actual actress.
And a pretty good one. And pretty good looking.
He had his thumb warmer for when he would go bowling. Do you remember this?
I do. Vaguely.
I cannot go bowling without reenacting at the Al Bundy thing. It's one of those things like I feel like you have to do it. So he goes over and he's got a little, it basically looks like one of those things when you sprain your wrist, but it's got a little, it's called a thumb warmer. So it warms his thumb just to the right temperature so he can throw the ball, but it's got a dial on it, Travis. So you can dial up how many pins you want it to knock down. And he rolls it and the ball's halfway down the lane. He turns around and he goes, Steve Reich.
And you knew it right. Though, when you do bowl, don't you kind of know when you let it go? You're like, oh, that's a strike.
I have no idea. I think I know if it's going to stay in the lane. It gets out of my hand. I go, I'm feeling pretty good about that one.
Did you see the Senior Bowl is taking place? The Diego Pavia story? Finished second in the Heisman.
But how tall he is?
Yeah. So in the Vanderbilt program, if you went to a Vanderbilt game and got a program, you're like, man, we got a great quarterback. He's 6 foot. They measured him, Ross, at the Senior Bowl. He's 5 foot 9 inches and 7/8. That's a long way from 6 foot. I'm 5'11". I'm 5'11". Now my driver's license.
He's how tall in the Senior Bowl? You say
5'9" and 7/8.
Come on, that's 2 inches and some 2+ inches.
Yeah.
That's been going on for decades.
I mean, if I stood next to Diego Pavia, you go, boy, Trav, you're
6'2", 6'4". Look at you, Travis.
Can you dunk? No, I can't. Because I'm
just got
5'11" and a half, shrinking
Travis,
at 5'11".
I've learned from Coach Hendo. When people ask you if you can dunk, the right answer is,
Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Don't actually answer it. Don't say yes or no. So you can dunk? Please. Is that a yes or a no? Get out of here. I'm really confused. It's like my buddy that works for the CIA, and we always ask him, what do you do for a living? I answer emails.
Come on now.
What do you really do? As little as possible.
I don't work that hard.
Hi, Justin.
How's it going,
Justin?
boys? Congratulations on your 1 year.
Oh, thank you, Justin.
Have you been listening every day for a year? I mean, before you joined the show?
Not every day. Not before I joined. I was listening, though, quite a bit, like working at the golf course. Dude, it was like I had you guys, the Joel Klatt show, and then I love movies. I found Bill Simmons, he runs The Ringer. and he was on ESPN. and
We're
stuff.
familiar with who Bill Simmons
I know.
is.
I don't know why I'm explaining Bill Simmons to you guys. I don't know why I did that. Are you familiar with this guy? One of the most popular sports figures, but he does the rewatchables where they would like pick a movie and then they would dissect it and listen to that. So I didn't listen every day, but frequently.
Okay.
I never find the hidden meaning in movies, right? I mean, you have people who will break down like the hidden meaning. I'm like, I just watch it for the storyline. I don't look for the like how people have dissected the Wizard of Oz and communism and capitalism, and you're like, I just like the midgets and the flying monkeys.
I've never heard the breakdown of Wizard of Oz and capitalism and communism. I didn't know that was anything. I did hear the other day a retelling, not a retelling because that's not necessarily, but a new look at the movie Rain Man. And it all makes sense. I saw this thing. It was like, oh my gosh, I did misunderstand Rain Man. I thought Rain Man was about one autistic brother and how his neurotic brother had to take, and they went and counted cards and toothpicks, and his brother takes advantage of him for all of these. No, Tom Cruise is autistic in that movie as well.
Oh.
Did you know this, Justin? Have you seen this?
Dustin Hoffman, autistic?
Wait, are you sure? Is it a joke on Tom Cruise?
No.
Because it sounds like a really funny joke on Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is highly functioning autistic. And his brother is savant autistic, and Dustin Hoffman. So when you see the movie from a different lens of like how Tom Cruise is obsessed with cars, he's neurotic about his timing just as well. He can't handle disruptions in his day. He kind of has these little. So
Did people miss that because autism that really brought autism?
It did, didn't it?
Into the Sure.
I like the other one is
Count
that joke about the Bruce Willis movie, The Sixth Sense. Right. If you guys have seen that movie, right? Trav, have you seen that one? Okay.
Yeah.
He goes through the entire movie without his wife ever saying a word to him or looking at him or just completely ignoring him. And then at the end of the movie, it's like, oh my God, he was dead the whole time. The joke on that is, how twisted are we that we just accepted the fact that his wife just didn't talk to him and ignored him? And you watch the movie for 2 hours, you're like, yep, that all checks. That's how relationships are, just like that.
She should have won an Academy Award because M. Night Shyamalan directed that perfectly. And looking back, when you watch it the second time, because that's one of those you watch one time and you're like, okay, I don't need to see it again because you know the ending, but then you look back and go, how did I not figure that out early on in the process? Now, I'm sure there were some people who thought that, but I was like, oh my God.
I've never been good at catching stuff early on too, of like watching a movie and I'll have people that are like, oh, there's the plot twist. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then it'll happen. I'm bad at it.
Behind the curve. I usually am also, Justin. Did you watch or enjoy? You never got back to me about Secret Mall Apartment.
I haven't watched it yet, but
I thought you did. Okay.
No, not yet. I need to.
It's a fun one. It's nothing groundbreaking or,
But those are some of the best. Like when you called me, the one I brought up that I'm like, I still think about, that's just a fun one, is that Pepsi Where's My Jet that you had me watch on
Travis,
Netflix.
you ever seen that one?
Yes.
That's one's a fun one too.
That's a good one.
Pepsi, Where Is My Jet? About a guy who legitimately thought he won an F-16 fighter jet from Pepsi.
Should have.
That's another. There's so many good ones out there. Justin sent me one the other day called The Way It Was. And it's a really cool story, Trav, about a guy that lived in Alaska up in the 70s. And he lived up there with his family and friends, and they did all sorts of outdoorsy, cool stuff in the 70s and 60s. And he decided at that time he was going to buy a camera and film it, and thought, I'm going to make a documentary someday about how much fun it is to just be out here up in the wilderness all the time. And then life got busy, and he never did anything with the footage. Well, now in 2025, his grandson is now graduated from film school.
And found the footage.
Tells his buddies, my grandpa used to shoot all this footage. And they're like, well, let's go make a documentary. So they made a documentary called The Way It Was that incorporates all of that old footage.
Is Grandpa dead or is he alive?
No,
He's
Grandpa was
alive.
still alive. Tells
Yeah.
the whole story of the camp and how that's
And it's
another
like
one.
45 minutes long. It
But
takes
it is one you have to watch. You
Oh, yeah.
got it because it's visually stunning to see the Alaskan stuff. So
I mean, there's some classic documentary. Like, I think it'd be a shock if no one has seen this yet with how old it is, but like Grizzly Man, a must.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's some that are just like a must
Haven't
watch.
seen
I remember
it.
seeing that.
Craft, Grizzly Man.
it's an insane guy. The story we shared earlier about the Grizzly Man won awards. It was like film of the year type of stuff.
And I feel like, what's the director's name? Herzog?
I don't know. I don't know who the
Hans. But
Okay.
it feels like the second time watching it, because I remember seeing it as a kid. Like my dad and I watched it together. And then as I got older, rewatching it, I'm like, it's almost like they made this a comedy.
It's on the verge of Travis is you will love because you will find the humor in it, Travis. You will recognize right away. Grizzly Man is a story about an insane man who thinks he can go up to Alaska and live with grizzly bears. And
Like
they're just
Kodiak, like
the lady that
biggest of the big.
the lady that goes and tries to pet the snow leopard earlier in the day.
Yeah. He thinks
She's
he can do that with grizzlies.
She's got nothing on this dude. His name was Timothy Treadwell. Shot his own footage, went up there and said, "Hey, I'm going to shoot my own documentary." Like literally, the documentary is shot him looking at the camera, and there's grizzly bears 15 yards behind him. He
And he's
names
like,
them all.
This one's chocolate. Chocolate's great. He's so sweet.
And it ends exactly the way you think it's going to end.
It's in like
a mauling because they're wild animals.
And you hear it. His camera was running.
Oh.
It's, dude, Grizzly Man
Chocolate.
is
No chocolate. No chocolate. I love you,
basically,
chocolate.
yeah. Basically, it's kind of how so you have seen it.
It's a classic, though.
It is.
Man. Did we screw up at all today, Justin?
No, you did the dishes for me, and I appreciate that.
Well, we try. We try.
We
Well-
thank a lot of people. One person I thought of that we haven't thanked, who's been a great partner, a great friend, a great contributor, our buddy Brooks Reynolds, who checks in with us whenever he's traveling around the world. Whenever he's got fun stuff happening, he helps us share it with everybody. And love you, Brooksy. Love everybody. Guy, all of you that listen, that have given us a year of your life of listening to us. This ain't just the beginning.
Just the beginning. All right, everybody. We're back tomorrow morning. I'll be live from Phoenix, Arizona tomorrow. So that'll be fun. It's the Rush Radio Show.
You really sold it.
Powered by Willis Automotive.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Thinking about popping the question? Take their breath away with a diamond you can trust. Rare and forever natural diamonds. Thoughtfully selected and pre-screened using advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together. Our experienced team is here to help you create something truly meaningful. And let's not forget about the guys. We proudly offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
New year, new lease on life, or on a new Nissan Kicks. Right now, we have a $299 per month lease on our 2026 Kicks SB. Also, take advantage of 0% financing on our 2026 Rogues and Muranos and our remaining 2025 Pathfinders. And we are thrilled to have the all-new 2026 Nissan Sentra on our lot. This sporty compact sedan is ready to carry you through the new year in style. For more information, stop into our showroom or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Missing a quality, home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
The following advertisement is for people who like to save money.
Do you or a loved one suffer from chronic overspending, getting less but paying more? Then you may have a case of big HVAC. Now is the time to try Priority One. We set our own prices, which means you pay for what you need, not for anything else. And if you need a heating service or new furnace, now is the time to try Priority One.
Side effects of Priority One include increased happiness, extra peace of mind, and bonus cash for whatever you want. Please use responsibly.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.